Hello. So I decided to make this video. Well, I've been meaning to make this video for probably a pretty long time now, but it's been 5 years, and then it will almost. So it's been 5 years since I discovered talking with famous people, and it's been 5 years actually since I've had the the mbti and all that stuff as a hobby. And uh almost in 5 years, like in a couple months will be like, I think a couple months, maybe a little later than that, would be the 5 years since I've appeared on Talking with Famous People, or been part of the community of Talking with Famous People. So uh I've been for man, how many, it's been like 2 years maybe. I've been getting a lot of messages from people who that are in the community or were in that community, messaging me and like, why, because I've talked to some people in there from time to time, and they were asking me like, why did you leave, or why haven't you came back, and that kind of thing. And I haven't really gotten that deep on it. It's kind of vague, as in usually like, I don't, it's just not my thing anymore, or I don't I even said like, I don't really like a lot of the people in there and that kind of thing. And um kind of gave little vague answers like that, or I moved on to other things, that kind of thing. But I haven't really gotten deep into it. And I was also hesitant to make this video too, because I was like, well, I was kind of thinking, was the point of making a self-indulgent video on why I left? I wasn't even. It's weird because I never thought I was a big figure in the community, but I got a lot of people who either were messaging me that were in there, or I even had people on other websites or groups or recognize me, like, oh, you're that either you're that guy that's in Talking with Famous People, or you're I've seen your videos before, because about 2 years ago, 3 years ago actually, I made a YouTube mbti YouTube channel that only lasted for like 6 months, I think, and I deleted it. It was about a good year, but I deleted it because all the videos weren't bad, but it just felt like I learned a lot more since then. But uh yeah, now I have a new mbti YouTube channel that I'll link below. That uh where I type 100. My whole goal is to make 100 videos and just leave the channel. I just type famous people pretty much, like CS, like BS Joseph does, but I think I do it better. And my typing's a little more like the traditional common function typing. His is more like his own system. So mine's not as deep as his system, but I think it's better and more accurate. My typings are a lot better and more accurate. But anyways, we're not gonna get into that chode. Anyways, so you know, yeah. So yeah, I appeared there in 2016, before there wasn't even a room, when it was just Google Hangout interview videos. And the first one I did was super embarrassing and awkward, because I, I didn't even know what I was doing. Like, I liked Eric's videos. I thought they were interesting. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna try getting on this channel. And I went in there like blind, like I didn't even know what I was doing, and he did this game, which everybody knows, the when you're trapped in the house or something game, and I didn't even understand what was the point of the game at first, and how you play the game sort of, and it frustrated him, and yeah, and then I joined the room. I was one of the first people in there when there was like only like maybe 10 other people in there, and then I went through all the changes, and then about 2018, I think 2019 was the last time I went in there, but 2018 was the last time I ever like was in the calls or whatever, and was in there a lot. It was 2018. And then 2019, I think was the last time I went in there, but it was only for like a little bit, and then I left, kind of thing. Like early 2019. And yeah, and the last time I went in there was a lot of people in there, but nobody I recognized, and I was like, I said, well, I think my time's done now. And so yeah, so the reason why I stopped appearing in there a lot, no pun intended, because it was appearing at the time, was I just got tired of it. There's a few things. I got bored of it, and I had other things going on in my life that were more interesting, and and a lot more like important things. And then I just thought it got annoying. It just became, it didn't became this, I don't know what it's like now. It might be a lot better. Could be a lot worse. I have no clue. It became this, it didn't became this kind of fun or quirky community where we would talk about not just MBTI, just about other stuff too. It didn't have to be MBTI, really. It could have been about music. It could have been about penises. It could have been about goats. It could have been about computers. It could have been about Cheetos. I don't know. It could have been about anything. And that's what was great about the group. It wasn't limited. And a lot of times too, when you talked about a lot of those random topics, it would somehow link later to MBTI. You know, you'd be talking about like which type of person can suck the fattest dick, and then you talk about it for like an hour, and then you're like later like, wait a minute, I think that might be an SC dom. I think SC doms could do that. Yeah. That's what was the beauty of the group. And there's been so many memes of the group. Everybody remembers the Yaylor days. Everybody remembers when Eric was jacking off to Sasa Gray. Those were the days. It was fun, But I got to a point where the fun was over, the egos came in, or the egos started, where it happens in every group, where motherfuckers just have to show off. They have to like, oh yeah, let me show off my, knowledge on things, and And to the point too where it made the group dynamic awkward. Like there'd be like two people, dominating a conversation. So it used to be like what I said before, two people would be talking about something, but then other people would chime in and be like, oh yeah, this and this. But then it became where two people dominated the room that nobody gave a fuck about. Like, the conversations were so, like, obscure. Like, it would be about what is the metaphysics of, what's the metaphysics of Mars and how that relates to, the food we eat. Or it would be something like that. And there'd be two people talking about it, and none of us gave a fuck. And then the chat on the side would just be another conversation where it would just be talking about whatever. And so that would kind of ruined it. There was a lot of that. And what's about the egos, I don't think like a lot of those people are even on the channel anymore, or even a part of that community anymore. But last time I heard, but like, like people started getting like certain roles, like, oh, you do this on the channel, that kind of thing. And or someone was like known for something, and then those people pride themselves in that, and then if the spotlight was away from them, or they like they or somebody disagreed or something, it would like just hurt them. It would hurt their feelings. And then a lot of those people became very condescending to everybody in the group, and it just got annoying. And a lot of people like I didn't and the reason why too I didn't like sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I didn't talk in the group and stuff. It was just, there's two things. One, it was just background noise. Because a lot of that stuff happened. I was talking about the metaphysics of Mars, how it relates to the food we eat on Earth, stuff like that. Would just be background noise for me. So I'd be doing something else. I'll be playing a game. I'll be watching a movie. Probably not watching a movie. Beating my dick. I'd be I don't know, organizing my room. I don't know. A lot of that became background noise. That's why I didn't even like talk or anything a lot of times. And then also, a lot of times I'd be talking to people on Facebook through Messenger and stuff while the background noise. That's mostly the number one thing I did. But, and two, I just didn't give a shit to talk to anybody about the metaphysics of Mars and why that relates to the food we eat. I don't care. It's boring. No offense, you might think that's fun, but when you bring in topics like that, you have to expect that a lot of people aren't just going to be on board and be into it. They're very niche topics, and so yeah, and then a lot of people are saying that I'm an introvert because I didn't give a shit about talking about something that I thought was boring. And so that automatically makes you an introvert. See, there's a lot of that. Like, by the way, I do know my type. MBTI, Enneagram type, all that shit. I do know what it is. I don't care to say it on here because I don't want to fucking argue about it. It's just annoying. I know what it is. Like, even to the point I've actually talked to people outside of here who I know are into this stuff, or I actually got people into this stuff, and who are very well researched at this point, and people agree with my typing, that know me. These are people I almost talk to on a daily basis, and don't just casually know me, but yeah, I know my type. I don't need to argue about it. It's annoying. I don't care. It's not. That's what I was getting into. Why I brought this up is, this is what was annoying. This whole, like, I'm right, you're wrong. This is the thing that's annoying at the anti community. Someone just can't say they're an INFP, and then somebody on there is like, no, you're actually an ISFP because this and this and this. And sometimes they might be right. There's a lot of people on there. You tell that they only got into stuff for a little bit, and they might think there's some other type, and then they're like, after they learn more, it's like, oh shit, I'm wrong, kind of thing. There's been incidents like that, but hearing it on a day, because I'm in there almost every single day, and hearing about it on a daily basis, those type of arguments was annoying, and it's not interesting to me. Somebody is like, I personality type people, but like, let's say I personality type some famous living person. I was like, let's say an ENFJ. And if they tell me, no, I'm an INFJ, I'm not going to give a shit. I'm like, okay, whatever, But, so I'm getting at, it's always like people know, and this is not just for me, it's other people in there too. People see who you are online, but don't know what you're actually like in real life. And, so, and also, at the time, I was fucking when I started going there, I was in fucking high school. Which is not an accurate depiction of who I am at all. And I've changed a lot since then, and I will always be changing. And so yeah, I was a try hard and stuff. I didn't chill out till like, I don't know, last year is when I finally kind of chilled out a bit. And yeah, it wasn't an accurate depiction of me. That was just my phase in my life, and yeah. And so yeah, and I'm very much different in real life, and that's what got me, because like, people thinking like I'm, let's say, a different type than I say I am is one thing that I don't care about. That it's the part that bothers me is when people get into where it's like, where you say, well, in real life, like, from an honest place where I was saying, in real life I'm like this and this and this and this, and then somebody pretty much says, no, you're not that. I doubt that. No. That's where it kind of bothers me, because it's like, oh, so now you're just know every single little detail about me? Like, motherfucker, like, there's people in there, like, let's say, I'm not going to name names, but let's say it's like an, I don't know, INFP in there. I think they're an INFP based on me talking to them, but real life, they might not even be one at all. You don't know what people are like online and stuff, and that's what just bothered me. There's a lot of just condescent, and then a lot of people are saying how I was uncomfortable by it, And in reality, I was just more annoyed and bored the whole time. I wasn't nobody made me uncomfortable. And I said this is shit I've said for years and repeated myself. But nobody fucking, it's just one ear out the other because they want to hear their own fucking narrative of everything. And, so yeah, I don't know, it's annoying. What else is there to say? Any more negatives? I will get into positives, but I'm trying to think of any more negatives. Yeah, and there'd be drama in there and stuff, and I didn't fucking care, because it was fucking, it was over stupid shit like, oh, people said that Eric's daughter is an ESFP or something. There's like a debate about that. Like, who gives a shit? What? First of all, who gives it? Why would you? There's two things. Like, why does it matter? Why are you wasting energy over fucking? That's what the thing is. It boils down to, you're wasting energy on things that don't matter, and you're also wasting energy on things that cannot even be proven. It's like arguing about the existence of God. It's pointless. Or the meaning of life is pointless. Okay? Like fucking, I don't know, dude. Like, the whole, like, that was another thing that kind of bothered me, and it kind of bothers me, not just about talking to famous people, but about a lot of MBTI community in general. Like, I think people put way too much emotional connection over these things, and I always viewed MBTI types as just up in the air. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that Albert Einstein was an INTP. However, I could be wrong. There's always that, in my mind, there's always that could be wrong aspect, and I'm okay with it. I don't care. And yeah, like, there's ours an ESFP. First of all, it doesn't matter what your kid's type is at all. It doesn't. And it shouldn't matter what your kid's type is. I just thought that was weird, and there's always this weird shit like that from time to time in there. Like, people would do, like, I'm not saying I've done cringy things. I've said cringy things even in there. Even things I look back, I'm like, ew, why did I say that? But I was like a fucking 18-year-old. Okay. I was fucking stupid. But, like, there'd be things like I would say, or no. What was I trying to say? I'm rambling. Yeah, just weird shit like the Eric's daughter thing, and the yeah, just stuff like that. Just weird stuff in general. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I forgot that one dude's name, who was like a troll, I guess, and he was like the most basic ass troll. He wasn't even creative, but people thought he was funny because he was a thinking type, and and he was cool because he was a thinking type, and he was a troll, so it automatically made him cool, I guess. There's stuff like that, and but then when somebody else did something like that, it wasn't cool because they were an FI user or something. It's just weird hypocrisy, just weird politics, weird weirdos, and creeps in there. There's a lot of creepy people. I don't care. I'll say their names. I actually don't remember their names. I think it was John and fuck, what's the other guy's name? You know who I'm talking about. I don't care about throwing them under the bus because they're fucking creeps. Who said really weird, creepy shit and very predatory-esque. And I have no empathy for those people. And, but people let that shit slide in there. Nobody cared. I did say something to John one time. And that was kind of going too far because he's being creep. That's what I'm trying to get at. There's always this weird hypocrisy in that other people in there can't do certain things, but I can. Yeah, there's a lot of dickheads. That's why I left too. There's just everybody's just morally ambiguous in there, and it's just fucking stupid. Anyways, positives is that without talking with famous people, without that experience, I don't know where I would be right now. I feel like that and when I'm used to making music with my friends I used to have in high school, those two things, it's funny because things that people I do not talk to anymore, but they're a very important part of my life. Without that, I don't know where I would be. It was actually a very positive experience and benefit me in a positive way. So I have negatives to say, but I'm grateful for those things. So yeah, that's why I left talking to famous people. Just, bullshit. And, like my life has changed so much since then that, I lived in a coming of age movie that starred Timothy Chalamet as me. Okay? So, yeah. Alright, I'm done talking and rambling. It's been like almost a half hour. I let out all my stuff, my honesty, my thoughts, everything. So anyways, any last thoughts? So I never really talked about Eric that much. I have nothing negative to say about Eric. He seems like he's a genuine dude. He's funny and stuff. So I have nothing negative to say about Eric at all. And this video wasn't a blast on Eric or anything. Neptune is still my senpai. So yeah, anyways, I guess that's it. This will probably be the last time I'll talk about this channel publicly on like a video or whatever. So yeah, see ya.